So guys, welcome to a new week, and in this new week we're going to be analyzing the charts for gold, and let's see what we're going to be looking for on the charts. Right, in this new week, are we going to be looking for buys or sells? So we're going to be starting with the monthly time frame. Let's start with the monthly. Now, those of you, if you guys have been trading gold and you've been following what we've been posting, you know that we're usually spot on with our analysis. But last week was quite a difficult one. It was quite stressful, and we tried to catch one or two things, but price was quite like I said, it was very stressful. And I think gold has gotten to a point where it's trying to like cool off a little. We might see gold moving sideways for some time, and I think it's preparing itself for a proper pullback, right? But looking at the monthly, like we already know, gold is very bullish, and so in a market like this where price is very bullish, we should be mostly looking for buys and not sells, right? And we're entering the last week for February, getting ready for the next month of March. All right, so in this last week of February, we might see price come down a little and then push back up, right? Probably. And the next month, we never can tell what will really happen, but from what I'm saying, price might be bearish. We might experience a pullback next month. But like I said, we never know, right? But let's just see. Let's just see. Let's go to the weekly. So on the weekly, I think this period, it's a period where people have to be very careful. You know, if you traded gold from down here, let me bring up this. If you traded gold from, where's this my arrow? If you traded gold from around here up like this, then you know you had amazing trades. Areas from here, this point, all these points were good points to get in on a buy trade and hold it, right? But as of now, where gold is, gold can continue to push up, right? But it's overdue for some. I think it's overdue for a pullback, right? A significant one at that. So we should be seeing gold preparing itself, for some kind of pullback. Even if it doesn't reach here, at least something significant, right? So I think that's the reason gold has been moving the way it's moving, just somehow moving sideways, goes up, comes back down, goes up, comes back down. It's not giving us a solid, kind of trade like the one we've been getting for the past few weeks since the beginning of the year. So anyway, like I said, looking at the weekly, let's continue with the analysis. Looking at the weekly charts, gold is still very much bullish, right? So we should still keep looking for our buy setups. But like I already said, we might be having a little bit of difficulty. So I would have advised that we just be patient and wait for this month to close before you take any other trade. But if we see a good opportunity, then we'll probably jump on it, right? But sometimes it's good to just be patient, because trading is about patience. You don't need to force yourself in on any trade if you don't see a clear setup, right? And that's what trading is about, getting in at the right time. So anyway, like I said, gold is still very much bullish on the weekly. So what I'm going to be looking for, like we always do, would want to draw Fibonacci for this week. We should be looking for price to come back down. Now, based on the way price has formed, we should be looking for price to come back down to around the 0.38% level. If possible, also the 0.5 level. Normally I would have said the 0.5, but looking at the way price has formed, we should be looking from around 0.38 to 0.5 level, right? So if price gets into that area, then we'll be looking for buys if a good opportunity presents itself. So this is the level. These are the levels I've already drawn. It just said I should just bring it up. So these are the two levels here, right? And if these levels don't hold, then what I think would happen is the price would now have to come back down to this area, 2893 and 2880 or whatever, thereabout, right? And then if that also doesn't hold, then we'll be seeing price coming back down to this level, to 860, right? And if that doesn't hold, then we'll see price come down to this point, which that won't be a bad idea. That will be very good, but that will not happen. That won't happen this week, definitely, probably some few weeks time. But this week now, what we are going to be looking for is price to react from this level. These first two levels we have drawn here, 29225 and 2291415 thereabouts, right? And if that doesn't hold, then this next level is what we'll be looking at. So let's just go down to the daily time frame. Let's be fast with this. On the daily, yeah, so this is what we have here, quite clear. You can see how tight and the kind of like sideways movement we are seeing, right? Unlike what we have in the previous days, right? Look at this. You see here how price goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down. You see price just was moving smoothly, right? At least you get a clean move upwards, right? Goes up massively, comes down, goes back up. But now when it gets here, what do we see? We see sideways movement. Has not really broken up, and we might see price going back down again. You see what I'm saying? So so that's what we have right now. So I think gold is preparing itself for probably drop, but we don't know when. But looking at this, like we said, we're going to be looking for buys. Since it's still very much bullish, we're going to be looking for buys in this first level, this first area, right? These two levels we have here, 2925 and 2917, right? But if those levels don't hold and the buy doesn't continue, you see we don't see gold continuing in its bullish move upwards, and we see price comes down, then we'll probably be looking for buys around this level, right? 2894 and 2883 level. So those are the levels we're going to be looking out for. Now if price breaks it and then goes down, then most likely that gold is so there's levels for buys or these levels. If that doesn't hold, then we might be looking at these levels, right? So that's what we have. Now let's go down to the 4 hour. Let's see if we can see things better, because on the daily it's looking very clumsy, right? So now on the 4 hour time frame, now can you guys see what we have here? If you look closely, you can see something that looks like a heads and shoulders, right? But remember, we're in a buy trend, right? Gold is bullish. We're in a bullish trend, so we have to be very careful. You can see something of this nature, right? We can see something of this nature, heads and shoulders, but gold has not broken through yet. Sorry, let's draw this again. You can see something like this, even here, right? Something like this, right? But like I said, we're in a buy trend, and if you're looking for bullish heads and shoulders, one could also say this is a bullish heads and shoulders forming as well, right? One could also say this, right? So things are just not looking so smooth right now. Things aren't just looking so smooth. So like I said earlier, we're still going to be looking for buys around this zone. So we should be waiting for price to come back down into this area. If we see a good opportunity for a buy, then we'll take it. If that level doesn't hold and price decides to break that level and comes lower, then we could be looking for buys at around this level, right? Yeah, at around that level. And if that still doesn't hold, which I believe that should hold, then it might want to come down to this point. Now, you know the way we trade, you guys need to understand something. When we tell you to mark a key level, doesn't mean you should just jump in on a trade the moment price gets into that zone. You need to wait for confirmations. You need to wait for certain confirmations that will give you the idea that, okay, price is looking like it wants to continue in the direction that we anticipate that price should be going in. If you don't get those confirmations, you don't get in on those trades. That's how you avoid unnecessary losses, right? So once price gets into our area, we're going to be waiting for certain confirmations. Once we see price forming the kind of patterns, or things that we're looking for, then we're going to get in on the trade. But these are the two key levels that we're going to be looking out for. We're going to be looking for buys at these two key major levels, right? And let's go to the 1 hour. Let's see if we'll see something better. Maybe things will be much clearer. Now, looking at the 1 hour. Now, yes. Now, another thing gold could do, we need to be aware of this, is instead of just coming down, gold could just start moving up from here, right? Instead of coming down, gold could just move up from here, and that wouldn't be a bad idea. Looking at what we have here, right? On the 1 hour, you can see something like this, a heads and shoulders that has somewhat already formed. Okay, so we can see something like that, right? So what we should be doing now is, if we see a good on confirmation at this point for buy, we might take it, right? But I think it will be best to wait to see what price does. If price breaks this level, then that'll be good. If price breaks this level, that'll be good. But if price doesn't break it and we see price pushing down below this level, then we know that price is most likely going to come back down into this zone, and then we'll look for our buys from this level, right? From this level. Let's go to the 4 hour. Let's see something, check something. All right. Let's go back to the 1 hour. All right, so like I said, makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. So if we can see price break above this level without coming down, right, then we might be looking for buys from around here, and we'll take it up. Yeah, something like that. But if that doesn't happen and price decides to break lower, then we'll look for buys around this zone. As you can see, that's good. Yeah, so these are the levels we're going to be looking out for. Looks good. These are the levels we'll be looking for buys. We'll be looking for buys around this zone. I'm looking for buys around this zone. I think it's going to be an amazing week. Let's see how it goes, guys. So I hope this has helped you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share this video for others to find this video. And also follow us on TikTok and on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to on YouTube as well. Let's see how the week goes. Success to everyone, guys. Peace.